What's up guys, Uncasual Gamer here, and today I'm going to be reviewing Hellblade 2 Senua's Saga in less than 5 minutes. It's part of a new series that I'm going to be doing where I review games in less than 5 minutes, just to give you a really quick opinion on the games. And just to say, this is my opinion. Obviously you've got your own opinion if you've played the game. There's a lot of talk around this game online at the moment. I might agree with that, I might disagree with that, and same with you. If you have played the games and you agree with my thoughts or you've got your own thoughts, please let me know in the comments down below.
What are you going to do now? Sacrifices must have meaning. She has given away that which makes her strong. A protector. A avenger. The thing she grips tight when darkness overwhelms her.
So I played the first game, Hellblade 1, Senua's Sacrifice, pretty much when it came out, probably about 6 years ago now. And I loved the game, I thought it was great. So I've kind of been waiting now for 5 years for this game to come out. And really there's only one place to start when reviewing this game, and that is the visuals. This game is absolutely stunning. It's arguably the best looking video game I've ever played in my life. And the world might not be as expansive, and it might not have the same details as something like a Red Dead Redemption 2, for example. The atmosphere, the lighting, characters, it really is second to none in terms of how it looks and the visuals of this game. And that kind of brings me straight on to the biggest talking point that has been around this game at the moment, and that's that it's not really a traditional video game in the sense. It's more of a cinematic kind of visual, an interactive cinematic kind of playthrough. So there's not much action at all in the game. In fact, the majority of the 6 hour, which obviously is a very short game, we'll come on to that later, the majority of the 6 hour playthrough is just walking through the world. And as good as the world looks and how amazing it does look, it's not for everybody and I get that, you know. And I'm all for that. I don't mind a game that is a little less on the action side, if it concentrates more on the story. So yeah, you might have a different opinion on that, obviously. But I didn't mind that too much, and I know a lot of the talk a lot of kind of the criticism of the game has come through that. But hey, you know, people are entitled to what they think. So moving on to the action and the combat, it's super simplistic, but very, very satisfying. I found the combat really satisfying in this game. It's so basic, you've literally just got a quick attack, heavy attack, dodge and evade, and dodge and block. And using those four, you can obviously parry and time your evades right, and then strike back with the 2 attacks. So yeah, very simple stuff. There's nothing in terms of skill trees, there's no progression. It's the same combat from the start of the game pretty much to the end of the game. There's one new feature that comes in fairly early into the game. But aside from that, it's just those 4 commands basically, and that is combat. What I do love is that every time you are in combat, the camera is animated and tracked and it follows you. It's almost like the entire game and all the combat is part of a cutscene. And that's kind of what made it satisfying for me, and that's because every time you defeat an enemy, you get the animation, you know, you get the final sword going through the enemy, and you get the animation, and that makes every single kill quite satisfying. It also makes the game feel quite heavy and intimate because the camera is brought with you and it's following you. It does have some downsides, like you never ever have to fight more than one enemy at once in a game, which seems odd. And it's also pretty easy. I actually died a couple of times during my playthrough, but almost every single fight was pretty easy. I never really felt challenged. So as I mentioned before, it's a 6 hour playthrough. Now, for a AAA title in 2024, 6 hours it's not long enough. I mean, if you were going out and paying $50, $60, $70 or pounds for a AAA game, you'd want that game to be lasting you know, as an absolute minimum, kind of 15 hours. And that's a norm for most games these days. You know, more open world games are longer than that. So 6 hours is too short. The fact that it's on Game Pass, for me, does alleviate that. And I know it's not free because I pay for Game Pass, but it's part of my monthly subscription. And for that reason, I don't mind the story being short. Is that there are no collectibles, and there are very few collectibles in this game. There are very few side events. There are very few tangents to go off at. You're pretty much on the story. You're on the story. There's two kind of collectibles that you can get as you're going through. It means that you're concentrating on the story and these absolutely sensational visuals around you. It appeals to a wider audience. It appeals to the casual gamer. A 6-hour game, that's on Game Pass. I mean, you're going to get more people playing it than I would have played it if it wasn't them two things. So yeah, the hardcore gamers might not like it as much, but in terms of the more casual gamer, I think both them things work in its favour. And then audio. So the first game was known for its unbelievable audio. I played the entire game with my headphones on, and if I said that the visuals are stunning in this game, then the sound is absolutely something else. This is what makes this game stand out amongst anything else. You have to play it in headphones, the 360 sound, the voices in your head. It's absolutely astonishing. And for me, it's the reason that I played the first game, and it's the reason I wanted to jump back into this. I've not experienced anything like it in a video game. I didn't get the same creepy, heebie-jeebie vibes from this game as I got from the first one. I don't know if that's just because the first time I played the game, obviously, it was something new, and I was expecting it this time. Okay, so final thoughts. I'm giving this game an 8 out of 10. You might think that's too high, you might think that's too low. If this game was $60 in the store and I'd paid that for it, I would be marking it down 100%. I am not denying that fact. It would be down to a 6 out of 10. The fact that it's on Game Pass and it's included in my subscription, I can justify giving this game a higher score, 8 out of 10. The visuals alone are absolutely stunning and make it worthwhile playing. It's a 6-hour short story. It's a good story, it's impactful. And what I would say is if you've got Game Pass, you want something different to play, something new to play, it's only 6 hours, pick it up, give it a playthrough. That's all, thanks for watching. As I mentioned at the start, if you've played the game and you've got any thoughts, please comment below. Feel free to disagree with everything I've just said, or feel free to agree with parts of it or all of it. Thanks for watching, and keep gaming.
Sacrifices must have meaning. She has given away that which makes her strong. A protector. A avenger. The thing she grips tight when darkness overwhelms her.